Hi there, I'm Meredith.
And I'm Cody. This is our tiny house.
And we live in Milton, Florida.
We've been living in our tiny house for 1.5 years.
Our home was built by Tumbleweed tiny houses.
Our house is 8 foot by 30 feet long, and it's 13.5 feet tall.
Our tiny home is located on some family property that my parents own, and we're on Blackwater Bay here, so we have the bay as our front yard, which is really nice. And they had already situated it for their RV, so it was perfect for us to just come and park and hook up also. My parents insisted that we did not pay them any rent for living here, but in return we do try to kind of clean up the property and maintain the land and just kind of clean up a bit around here. I love being near the water and just having like all of this space to roam around and to walk our dogs and having room for like our fire pit and all the activities we could dream of.
This is our beach on Blackwater Bay. We love to come out here and be in the sun, take the dogs on a walk on the beach, and see all the wildlife out here. It's really nice and relaxing. I would never swim in this water, only because I'm deathly afraid of snakes and alligators that might be in it. But Meredith grew up swimming in it, and she has no fear, so she'll get in there anytime.
We'd love to show you the inside of our tiny house. Let's go.
Welcome to our tiny house. It's about 240 square feet, not including the lofts.
It was very important for us to have plenty of room to entertain and host family and friends over and have plenty of room in our kitchen to spend time together.
This is the newest member of our family, Wiggly Bean. We were foster dog parents for a long time. This is our 11th foster dog and she's now permanent. Wiggly Bean was my choice. Wiggly Bean just fits her so well. The way she shakes her tail when she's happy, she shakes her tail when she's falling asleep, and her whole body rattles. Sweet girl.
We have rearranged this area multiple times, so we have this table that we bought to fit in this space, and I kind of like it because we've switched it from one side to the other, so it fits perfect. We also have this nice antique trunk that is from the early 1900s. We bought it during our time living in Connecticut, and we honestly weren't sure if it was going to fit. It was kind of like we got it here and we crossed our fingers, and it has worked perfect. We love it. We keep all of our board games in there, which is really great for it. And then we have these really cool storage containers where we actually put all of our shoes in that have been such a lifesaver because we really didn't know where little things like that go, things that you don't really think of until you're in a tiny home. This is our main table that we use, so we share all of our meals here. We can also pull it out and it has more stools underneath, so when we have other guests over, we can use that to play games or we can eat together. And then Cody also uses this to do some of his work on his computer, so it's been very helpful to have this like flexible area for us. On the other side of our table is this kind of hidden litter box for our cat Toasty. She has like a little secret entrance under there, under the table, and we just wanted to make sure that she had plenty of room and to be comfortable, but also we wanted to make it kind of hidden and out of the way as well. In our original plans, our kitchen stopped right here at the end of the stove, but we knew we wanted like a little extra storage room just for like pots and pans and kitchenware, so we added this whole extra section, which has been great to be able to store like our plates and bowls. And then I have like my antique cake plates up here, of course. And we love our really deep farmhouse sink, which is super helpful, a lot bigger than standard sinks are, which has been really great. We wanted to make sure that even though we're in a small space and we do have 2 lofts, that our area still felt very open, and we felt that putting cabinets here would have like made it a lot more closed off and darker in the room, so we kept it open like this. And we also wanted to display a few things too. Our stove is propane, which is great. I love cooking with propane up top, and this like folds out, and we have 3 burners here, which is excellent. And our oven is not quite a full-size oven, but it does fit quite a lot in there. I find that our oven does pretty well for most things, but I mainly use the top. So since I own a bakery, I do most of my baking at work. I have baked a few cakes at home, a few like baby shower cakes or birthday cakes for friends when they've asked me to. I think it has the perfect amount of space for us to be able to function on a day-to-day basis. Further back in our kitchen is our pantry. We had this put in because we just wanted to make sure we had plenty of space for everything. And with all the room in our stairs, we wanted to make sure it was utilized properly, so these shelves pull out. We have a ton of really great space, and we also have trash cans built in here as well. Being in Florida, we definitely have to have a dehumidifier to kind of keep our humidity levels in check. And we actually have it so it drains off into our sink here, and it works really hard every day. Up here too, we have our mini split, which both heats and cools. Being in Florida and on the water, it's obviously very hot and humid here most of the year, so it's really important to have our mini split that like cools everything down. And then we also have blackout shades on our windows that kind of help with keeping the sunlight out when it's extra hot. I am currently a chef. I own a bakery over in Pace. I got into being a chef, I guess, from a young age, really, because I always loved being in the kitchen with my family.
I was in the Navy for almost 9 years. I was stationed in Guam on a submarine tender, and now I'm a graphic designer. So on the ship, it's a coffin locker. So I have my bed, and underneath is all my storage, and that's all I get. And I realized how much I don't need. And so I could get out and do more and spend time with people I enjoy. And so from that moment, I sort of went into minimalism.
I actually grew up here on this piece of property. It's about 3 acres, and I lived here until I was in about 4th grade when Hurricane Ivan actually hit and it destroyed our home. In most of our neighbors' homes, there were really high storm surges, so it was actually more like there was water in our attic, and that's ultimately what took out our house. There was pretty much our fireplace was left, and like maybe a little bit of the outside framing was left. So my parents always held on to this property, and we would use it for like parties and just like enjoying the water because it's obviously very pretty here and just a nice place to gather. And they actually ended up outfitting it for their RV, so they would come down here just for like a long weekend or something just to enjoy it. And they live not too far away, so it's just like a little getaway for them. And so we were looking for somewhere to put a tiny house, and this was kind of perfect.
I will say that they were much more inclined to let us park here than they were for us to get a tiny house.
Yes, that's true.
When we told them about the tiny house and when they saw it, they were like...
They were very concerned about getting a tiny house, about us living in one. They were just like, you can't do that, that's crazy, it's gonna be so small. You have 2 dogs, that's not gonna work.
But her dad, after he saw it, was like,
yeah.
I kind of want to build those.
Yeah, he was like, this is super nice. He was like, this is way better than I envisioned. We definitely have lots of plans for if storms happen, because obviously Florida and hurricane season is not fun, but we have a plan to throw all of our blankets and all of our breakable dishes in the bathtub, and we can pretty easily hook up and go.
I will say I think there might be some trauma associated with the storms coming in, losing your house. And so another reason this was a good selling point is that we can get out of the way of a storm if we need to.
For sure.
Hello, this is Snickers. He's our 16-year-old poodle. Meredith's had him since middle school, and he's hanging out with us still. Yeah. Now we're in the middle of the house, which is our bathroom. This is where a lot of key needs were. So the full-size bathtub was a creature comfort that Meredith insisted on, and I wanted to make sure she had that. The bathtub was a must-have for Meredith because she does like to take baths and just relax in there sometimes. A cool feature we did find was the hotel shampoo and soap dispensers that just hang up there, so it really frees up a lot of space for us on the panel for anything else we have. Over here we have our washer dryer unit. We go through a lot of laundry with the dogs and cats and working at the bakery, so there's that. One thing that we're going to change soon is our toilet. So we have the traditional water flush toilet. We're upgrading to a Cinderella soonish. I don't know how soon, but it's the incinerator toilet, so you don't need any sewage or Blackwater tanks. The reason we're talking about the incinerator toilet is to be a little bit more off-grid. I mean, our goal is to get completely off-grid with solar and rain catchment, but tiny steps at a time. This area is our vanity. We have a full medicine cabinet in the wall, and we have storage underneath where we keep all of our laundry detergent and stuff. So this area comes in handy as far as storage. We opted for a larger closet because another creature comfort is Meredith likes to wear nice clothes, and I like my Hawaiian shirts. So we have half of it's mine, half of it's hers. We've definitely pared down a lot of clothing. But yeah, we have a capsule wardrobe, whether we want to or not. So the bathroom functions really well most of the time. There is some time when we're both having to get up and get out the door at the same time. There's a little squeezing going on, but we work with it. We get it done. Normally, if somebody is going to occupy the bathroom for an extended period of time, they'll ask the other person, which side do you want to be in? Do you want to be in here or there? Here in the front of the house, we have our bedroom. It's a queen size bed. Meredith put up this really nice wallpaper, and we have these blinds that really make it cozy in here without being tight. This bed frame was specifically purchased so our dogs could have a place to go underneath and feel safe and secure when they're not in the bed. This place functions well, except for sometimes the AC doesn't get back, so we have a fan that pushes the air back. It's warmer back here. Last night we had the window open because it was a little bit cooler. So we had the fan blowing this way, and with the air coming in from outside is really nice. The bedroom being on the first floor was super important for us. One, for the little dogs to be able to get in and out of bed as they need to at night, and also us to get in and out of bed at night to go to the restroom. Oh, and I can stand up in here, which is a lot different than a loft where I have to be hunched over. Next, I'm going to take you upstairs to check out one of my favorite spots in the tiny house. So this is our bigger loft. It's right above the bedroom and bathroom. This functions as our living room. When we lived in Connecticut, we had an extra bedroom that I converted into a nerd room. And so when we moved here, my wife thought it was very important for me to have a tiny nerd room. And so this is a small semblance of what that is, and it's amazing. Meredith got this nice floor couch and then set up this library for me to keep all of my books, knickknacks, and doodads. We spend time up here watching television or playing Super Smash Brothers. And our newest family member, Wiggly Bean, has learned to climb the stairs, and she loves to hang out with us up here. This is our full-size statue of Dobby, and sometimes I warn people that he's up here. Other times I like to see their reaction when they just see his eyes looking out. So because it is up high, it does get a little bit warmer, so we have to turn the air down, but lounging in this space and watching, and when the windows are open and all the pets, it's just a lot of fun up here. And we've squeezed quite a few people up here. We had board game night, and there were 7 of us up here, and then we had another one where we did video game night, and it was 4 or 5. So this is our living room loft, but over across the way above the entryway is our secondary loft, and that is a storage space. So we have Christmas and Halloween decorations, we have all of our family photographs. I think there's a suitcase with winter clothing over there. Tumbleweed Tiny House built our house, and we went with them because it was the only company that we could find that would help us with financing. So we looked into a bunch of independent builders, and they were really great, and we loved all of them, but unfortunately we just couldn't get, even the same bank that we went with wouldn't finance us with other companies.
Tumbleweed was excellent to work with. We kind of did like a discovery call together and said these are the things that we need and what we like have to have in our tiny house. And we kind of already had a great idea of the layout that we wanted. You had already pretty much designed it, and they had a model that was almost exactly what we wanted. They actually made great suggestions too, like we weren't going to have a bedroom on the ground floor, but they suggested that we might enjoy that, and that's what we ended up going with. Our tiny house ended up being in total $120,000. So I think the base model was maybe $90,000, but then with all of our upgrades, we ended up at $120,000. Going tiny definitely helped us trim down some of our expenses. Like our utilities are generally $100 or less a month, which is great. And we were super blessed to be able to be on land for free. So we don't have to pay like RV rental lot fees or anything like that, which is great. So that was really helpful for us to be able to do something crazy like start our own business. I've really planned to open a bakery for 10 years now. Like I was a teenager when I wrote down a note in my phone that said like the bakery and ideas for it, and I always just added to that note. So finally being able to realize that idea was very surreal, and sometimes I'm still like, I own a bakery. It was kind of crazy. We expected like I was just gonna work there by myself because we wouldn't be busy enough to hire anyone, and now we have staff and regular customers, and it's been really amazing. What I've liked most about living in a tiny house is really getting to customize our space and feeling like I have plenty of time to enjoy life because we don't have as much of a big area to clean, and we get to spend a lot of time together since we can't really get away from each other, so it's been great.
I also like the time we spend together. If we do have a disagreement, there's only a couple rooms you can run away to. So either I'm in here or she's in the bedroom, and it's not too far to say, hey, you want to go get dinner? It makes any disagreements go away pretty quick.
Eventually, for our tiny house, we plan to buy a piece of land or maybe land with an existing house on it, and we will either build our own house or move into a house, and our tiny house will become an Airbnb at that point, or just a great place for like our guests to be able to stay when they're coming to visit us. For the business,
the bakery's taking off. We don't know where it's going.
We're just along for the ride, really.
Thank you for watching our video and for stopping by Tiny House Expedition. I'm Alexis.
And I'm Christian. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
And for more tiny home tours and stories, click the videos below.
And join us on Instagram for bonus content,
including face-to-face conversations with us. We hope to see you there.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Have a good one.